What's going on, Walking Dead family? I'm the Viking, and this is my review for The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 7, titled Promises Broken. So this week, we got to see Princess, Ezekiel, Eugene, and Stephanie being punished for going into the radio tower in last week's episode, trying to contact Alexandria. So this is their punishment. They're on Walker cleanup duty. They're in these houses that the Commonwealth wants to kind of restore and build back up, but it's full of walkers. So they have to go in and kill these walkers one by one. So basically, that's their punishment. And, Ezekiel, of course, we know that he has that cancer lump in his throat and his neck. So he is trying to overcome that as well. And he doesn't look too well. He really, really doesn't. But in this episode, he goes to the doctor. They give him some antibiotics, some medicine to help heal it. So that's good. So hopefully Ezekiel recovers from that pretty soon. We also get some cute moments between Eugene and Stephanie. But this character right here, who's a character that just seems like a douche. He looks to be very rich. Look at his clothes. He's being escorted by the Commonwealth guards. He even makes a smart remark towards Eugene and the group cleaning up the walkers. And Eugene's like, who the hell is that guy, And then Ezekiel was able to bring lollipops back to the group. But then we got to see Yumiko. Of course, now she's all dressed up. She's higher up in the community with her brother. And her brother's kind of saying, look, don't tell anybody that I was a surgeon, that I was a doctor, because they'll find out and I will be in big, big trouble. And in this episode, he's actually taken away by the Commonwealth guards. And it looks to be all of a setup by Lance Hornsby, who is the chief operator or the director of operations within the Commonwealth. And we even get to see the real Stephanie, because this is definitely the real Stephanie, guys, because she is inquiring about, Eugene and about the group that Yumiko came with. And Lance Hornsby makes a deal towards Yumiko. Look, you want your brother, you want your friends safe, I'll do that for you. And Yumiko's like, what do you want? I just want a friend in higher places. So maybe Lance Hornsby's goal is to be the president of the Commonwealth someday, because we know that Pamela Milton is the president. She's the main person for the Commonwealth. And he probably wants that position. So he wants to be friends with Yumiko because she's going to be a lawyer in the Commonwealth. She's going to be very, very high up. But this guy right here, look, in the comic books, this character has a huge story. And I'm going to spoil it. So just fast forward 10 or 15 seconds. So basically this character here is known as Sebastian. And this character killed Rick Grimes in the comic books. He shot him. So this is him. He is the son of Pamela Milton. That's why he's very, very important. He's on a date with his girlfriend. And Lance Hornsby, he sent Stephanie and Eugene to clean up some walkers on the other side of the area. And then he brought Ezekiel and Princess off. It looked like a plan. It looked like it was, it looked like he wanted this to happen. Eugene saves Sebastian, he saves him because there's walkers coming towards him and his girlfriend. But then, he's just a douche. He just really is very mean and not thankful. He's spoiled, he's rich, stuff like that. And while Eugene and Sebastian are having an argument, a walker is coming up behind Sebastian's girlfriend. And Stephanie, the fake Stephanie, goes over and saves her, kills the walker. But then blood gets all over Sebastian's girlfriend's clothes, and then Sebastian loses it. He's like giving out to Eugene, giving out to Stephanie, calls Stephanie a name, and then Eugene punches him straight in the face. Then Mercer and Lance Hornsby show up and are like, what are you doing? And even Stephanie's like, why did you do that? What are you doing, Eugene? Because this is Pamela Milton's son. And Eugene ends up in prison in the Commonwealth. And Lance Hornsby visits him and's like, look, I can get you out here. It's going to be hard. You're going to have a lot more work to do, but I can get you out here on one condition. And Eugene's like, what is it? And Lance Hornsby wants to know the location of Eugene, Princess, Ezekiel, and Yumiko's community, which is Alexandria. Now, why does he want to know? I'm not too sure. Will the Commonwealth end up showing up to save Alexandria from the Reapers later on this season, or from a different group? Maybe. I'm not too sure. But Eugene is very hesitant to give him that information because he doesn't want to give up his family in case the Commonwealth is pretty bad. And, Lance Hornsby's like, look, I've treated you so well. We've treated you so well in this community since you've been here. Trust me. So then Eugene ends up giving Lance Hornsby the information of where Alexandria is. Is that a bad idea or a good idea from Eugene going forward? we'll have to wait and see. But then we go over to Daryl and Leah and the Reapers. And Leah and Daryl are sent off on a side mission, to look for Maggie's group, any hints of them around. And they come across a person, and they meet this mysterious man. And of course, in the zombie apocalypse, it's hard to trust people. But this guy gives a sob story like, look, I'm just trying to look for food for my family, for my kid, for my wife. My wife is hurt, And instead of Leah and Daryl just killing this guy on the spot, they decide to follow him and to see if his story is true, which is a risky idea as well, because this guy could have had a large community of people, and then Leah and Daryl would be, in a bad situation. But look, I do like Leah as a character, but I do not like her as Daryl's girlfriend. I would rather Connie. I really like Connie and Daryl in season 10. I know some people want Carol and Daryl, but I think they're just friends. But then again, they do have their own spin-off show that's coming when The Walking Dead ends. But maybe that's a misdirect. Could Daryl die? I don't think so, but maybe that's a possibility. But the guy's story was proven to be true because his wife was there and she's badly injured and about to turn into a walker, and they have a child. He has a son there as well. So, but Leah gets the word from, I don't know if it was from Pope or from the Reapers, but to kill these people, to kill them. And instead of doing that, Leah says, just run. Take your son and go. And Daryl ends up putting an arrow into the woman's head. She was going to die anyway. She's going to turn into a walker. But Leah kind of shows her good side there. She lets the father and son go. And Daryl notices that as well. And maybe a few episodes ago, I would have thought that Leah was too far gone. She's too much manipulated by Pope and by the Reapers. But actually, here it shows that she's willing to make her own decisions. And I think she loves Daryl. I think Daryl loves her as well. But will this be the end of Leah come the end of this arc with the Reapers? I think Pope could end up killing Leah. I really do. I wouldn't be surprised, because this guy is absolutely insane. He even shouts at some of his members of the Reapers, look, do you not feel anything? Your brother has been killed, stuff like this, to try and rile them up, to take on Maggie's group, to find them. And even Leah goes up against Pope. She gets into his face. She's not afraid whatsoever. Now, I don't know if Pope respects that, if he looks at her and thinks, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want my community to be. Or will this be something that leads to Leah's demise? But Daryl, of course, making friends with some of the Reapers, having a cigarette, chilling, him and Dog. But Daryl is kind of sussing out the Reapers and what they have, what kind of firepower they have, how many people they have, and he also gets to see that the Reapers have a lot of food. And that's something that Alexandria badly need. And this was a community that Maggie's group was originally in, and they were ran out by the Reapers. But we still don't know why Pope really wants Maggie so badly, why he's chasing her all over the place. I think there has to be something more to it, because, I know maybe they're afraid in case Maggie's group come back to kill them, but, but why continuously go after them when they were gone? But Maggie and Alexandria need that food badly. They really do. But then we cut to Gabriel, who very creepy way is just staring at this Reaper member, who also looks very crazy and creepy as well, because he's on the ground, he's praying, he's talking nonsense. And instead of Father Gabriel coming out and killing him or confronting him or capturing him, he just kind of lets him off. But there was kind of a weird edit in this scene. The guy was looking, it looks like he had seen or he had known that Gabriel was actually looking at him. But did the two of them have a conversation? Because when Gabriel comes back and Maggie asks Gabriel, did you see any of them? Did you come across any of them? And Father Gabriel's like, no, I didn't. So that was kind of weird from Father Gabriel. And we know that the Reapers are a very religious group, and Father Gabriel is a priest. So I probably will bet that Pope and Father Gabriel will meet and will have a conversation about religion. Or maybe that guy that Father Gabriel was looking at, maybe there will be a scene of them two having a talk or a discussion about religion. Because we see the signs of Judas. A person was tied to a pole, they were then turned into a walker with Judas written over it. They're very religious. So I wonder if some of those themes will be brought forward in the coming episodes with Father Gabriel and the Reapers. Because remember, Father Gabriel has changed big time. He is willing to kill to protect the people he loves. He's different from the Father Gabriel that we got to meet in season 5. He will kill you without any remorse whatsoever. Then we have Negan, Maggie, and Elijah, who are coming up with this master plan to take on the Reapers. And I love how the Whisperer storyline is still important. Negan infiltrated the Whisperers. He helped the survivors beat the Whisperers. He was so close to Alpha. He learned the tactics to control the Walkers. And I love now that we have new villains, the Reapers. And Negan's like, hey, I'll just use this. This is pretty good. This is pretty effective. And Negan even has his old Whisperer's mask, which is awesome. I love this. And now he's trying to teach it to Maggie. And look, we all know what happened between Negan and Maggie. And Maggie is so against Negan. But this season has frustrated me with Maggie so much because she will not listen to Negan whatsoever. She thinks that she is always right. But in a way, it's just her being like, look, I don't like this man. He will not have one over me where he's right about something. And there has been times this season where Negan has been right and Maggie has been just wrong. But then in the last few episodes, Maggie has got a few things right as well. You know, Maggie wants to keep going forward to get the food for Alexandria, while Negan's like, look, let's just go back home. Let's just prepare if the Reapers come our way. Let's just leave because this is suicide right now. And Negan's even like, what army do you have, Maggie, to take on the Reapers? You know, but they keep going forward. And Negan, he doesn't want to go back to Alexandria on his own. You know, he doesn't want to go back maybe as a failure as well. So he sticks with Maggie. And he's like, look, Maggie, you need me. You need my help. So we need to put all this shit behind us. What I did, I'm sorry what I did to Glenn, but let's put it behind us and let's just move forward. And they shake hands, you know, and that was pretty cool to see. Now, do I think that Maggie and Negan will end up in a relationship or feeling romantic towards each other? I don't think we'll ever see that. I think maybe Negan will be attracted to her, or maybe at times, maybe, but I doubt it. Maybe Maggie will be attracted to Negan. But I love the dialogue between Maggie and Negan when they sat down and they just talked, you know, and Negan's like, look, I did what I did, and I would change what I did. And Maggie's like, do you really mean that? And he's like, yeah, I would kill every last one of you if I could go back. Because that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And even Maggie's like, why would you say that to me? And Negan's like, it's the truth. And Maggie's like, why would you say that to me? And Negan's like, for us to work together, for this to work, we need to have 100% trust in each other. That's why I told you that. That's why I'm telling you the truth right now, because we need to work together. We need to come together and take on these Reapers. And I love that so much. I thought it was a brilliant line. And, you know, Maggie's like trying to justify, but you killed Glenn, you killed people who had families. And Negan's like, but what did you do at the outpost? You know, you killed men. And Maggie's like, well, none of them had families. And like, Negan is saying, well, they had girlfriends, boyfriends, you know, people that cared about them, and you just slaughtered them. So Negan's right. Back in season 6, when we got to see this happen, where Rick and the rest of the group just went into the outpost and absolutely brutally murdered the saviors, even we thought that was dark. And to be honest, they had it coming when Negan lined them all up and killed Glenn and Abraham. And he says, I would probably kill all of you now if this happened again, because then none of that would have happened, where he would have lost and the saviors would have been beaten and stuff like that. But I just loved it. I loved the dialogue between the two. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And then, you know, Negan drops Gracie, and I love this so much. It was brilliant. He's like, what about Gracie? You know, where did Rick find Gracie? Or how did Aaron become Gracie's father? So I love that so much. That goes back to Rick Grimes when he found Gracie. Rick killed that savior, and that's when Rick started to change and started to realize, look, I can't keep killing people. There will never be a next world, and not every person is bad. Everyone is protecting something. And that guy that Rick killed was protecting his daughter Gracie, and then Aaron took that child in. So I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And we got to see Negan train Maggie in how to control the Walkers, which will be a tactic that's used in the kind of part 1 finale going into next week against the Reapers. I also liked how Maggie wasn't able to get the hang of it first, and the mask was falling off her. She was getting frustrated, and Negan is like, look, just calm down, you can do this, you're smart, you know. Negan being the teacher towards Maggie. And yeah, so they're on the direction now towards the Reapers. They're controlling the Walkers. Maggie is now, and I said this to my brother, Maggie's now the alpha, kinda, and Negan is the beta, or if you want to say that Negan is the alpha and Maggie is now the beta. And then two characters had kind of feelings towards each other as well. So it's kind of unbelievable how they defeat the Whispers, but now they've taken the Whispers' tactics to fight a new villainous group. And you have Alpha and Beta reincarnated in the form of Maggie and Negan. I thought that was a pretty cool kind of parallel there. Maybe you disagree or agree, let me know below. But yeah, they're on the way. And then Elijah, of course, he's been looking for his sister the last few episodes. He can't find her. But while he's dressed up as a walker, amongst the walkers, he sees his sister. And that kind of is him realizing, oh, yeah, she's dead. And Elijah might die now, because his arc is kind of complete. He's found his sister. I wouldn't be surprised in the season finale for part 1, he does end up dying. I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. But I'm intrigued. I'm looking forward to this. I wonder, will we see an action-packed part 1 finale, or will it seep into part 2 of this last season? Will the Reaper's storyline be wrapped up in part 1, or will it go into part 2 and part 3? Very interesting if it does. Plus we got all the good stuff with the Commonwealth, Father Gabriel. So looking forward to next week's episode, guys. This one was pretty good. Really, there was a lot in it. There really was. And I enjoyed this episode a lot. I still think the one with Connie and, with Virgil was probably the best episode because of how different it was from anything we've seen before. But this episode was pretty good as well. I love the dialogue between Maggie and Negan. I love the references towards Gracie, Rick, Aaron. I thought that was pretty cool. And to see Daryl and Leah come closer together against the Reapers. But as always, guys, thanks very much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Give the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for all the latest Walking Dead news and theories and reviews. I will review The Walking Dead, its last season, Fear the Walking Dead Season 7, and The Walking Dead World Beyond Season 2, which actually came back on Sunday. So tomorrow I will have the review for Season 2, Episode 1 for The World Beyond. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that review. Also, guys, come follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Movies That Matter. Just search that name and you will find me. And hit the bell for this channel as well so you get notified when every single video drops so you don't miss a thing, guys. Thanks for watching. Really enjoyed this episode. I hope you loved it as well. Get into the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on it. And I'll see you for my Walking Dead World Beyond Season 2 Episode 1 review tomorrow. Chat you then, guys.